The 2023 NFL playoffs are rapidly approaching, so we're going to go over some of the biggest questions that will need to be answered as we close out the regular season. Now, before we get into it, this video is brought to you by NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube and YouTube TV, and they have a special offer as the playoffs approach. With NFL Sunday Ticket, you can watch your favorite teams out-of-market Sunday afternoon games every week, no 2-year contract required, and you can even bundle and save on NFL Sunday Ticket with YouTube TV to get over 100 plus live TV channels. As for the special offer, since there are only a few weeks left in the regular season, now you can get NFL Sunday Ticket for as low as $39. So if you've been a little hesitant about paying the full season price, this is the perfect time to try it out and see if it's something you might want for next year. Plus, you'll have it for the most pivotal weeks of the season, where you can use immersive features like multi-view to witness the answers to all the questions I'm about to bring up. Again, NFL Sunday Ticket is now as low as $39. Get it now by clicking the link in the description as we race to the playoffs. All right, let's get into the video. The biggest questions facing the league: will the Chiefs figure it out? The Kansas City Chiefs look like the NFL's next great dynasty, taking the place of the New England Patriots, who are more concerned with the #1 pick than the #1 seed these days. And part of being a dynasty is being annoyingly adaptable and staying good no matter how much roster turnover you have or what obstacles get thrown your way. It seemed like the Chiefs were that adaptable, winning a Super Bowl in their first season after trading Tyreek Hill. But now the post-Tyreek blues are hitting them like a truck. Record-wise, the Chiefs are having their worst season in the Patrick Mahomes era, leading people to wonder, will this be the year the Chiefs take a back seat, or will their receivers finally step up and support their superstar quarterback? Can MVS, Kadarius Toney, Justin Watson, Justin Ross, or anybody else help out alongside Travis Kelce and the emerging Rashee Rice? Or will the Chiefs just chalk the season up as a loss and go find Mahomes some real receivers this offseason? Speaking of the Chiefs, if they're not going to win the AFC, who is? It feels like the AFC is more wide open than ever before. The last couple seasons, the Chiefs, Bengals, and Bills have all been favorites to reach the Super Bowl. Now, the Bills never actually got there, but the last time a team other than the Chiefs, Bengals, or Patriots actually made the Super Bowl out of the AFC was 2016 when Denver got there. But it seems like for the first time in 8 years, we might have a relatively fresh face coming out of the AFC. We already talked about the Chiefs' issues. The Bengals don't have Joe Burrow, and the Bills, while I won't rule them out, have not done themselves any favors in the middle of what is supposed to be their championship window led by Josh Allen. Could it be Baltimore? Miami? Jacksonville? Hell, Denver? I don't know, but I do know there's more parity in the AFC right now than there has been in a long time. Are the 49ers the kings of the NFC? Now, the NFC definitely feels like it has more top-tier, truly Super Bowl caliber teams. I truly believe if you put any of the 49ers, Cowboys, or Eagles into the AFC, they would be favorites to reach the Super Bowl. But instead, they all have to fight with each other in the NFC, and so far, it hasn't been a fair fight. I mean, the Niners dominated both of these teams, beating the Cowboys 42-10 and the Eagles 42-19. So the question is, are they really that much better than the rest of the NFC? Or can the Cowboys, Eagles, or even Lions actually put up a fight instead of just being the NFL's version of Dylan Dennis? Now, you may have noticed there's one division who did not have a single team mentioned among the NFC contenders just now, and that is the NFC South. So, who's gonna win the NFC South? Yet again, it seems like no one wants to, but someone has to. And while it's easy to sit back and say, who cares, they're just gonna get smoked in the playoffs anyway, true, but they're gonna host that playoff game, and for better or worse, that matters. Dallas or Philly is gonna be playing a first-round road game either at Tampa, at Atlanta, or at New Orleans. I am morbidly curious to see how this division plays out because none of these teams deserve to be in the playoffs. Are we gonna see playoff Ritter? Playoff Baker? Playoff Carr, even though it should be Jameis? Only time will tell. But hey, there are some other playoff spots up for grabs too. Who is gonna take all these wildcard spots? When I look at the teams competing for the wildcard spots in both conferences, all I can think of is that these are not playoff caliber teams. And I think it's largely because of all the quarterback injuries. Teams that would otherwise look really strong are having to deal with backup quarterbacks who, on paper, make the team look weak. That's why when I look and see teams like the Browns, Bengals, Colts, and Vikings all fighting for playoff spots, my initial response is, ew. Then there are teams like the Texans and Packers who are just ahead of schedule in their rebuilds. And then there are a bunch of teams, specifically in the NFC, who have records at or below 500, but are still in the playoff mix because the NFC is so top heavy. It's gonna be fascinating to see who actually grabs these last few playoff spots. Imagine if multiple NFC South teams end up getting in. And finally, how will the draft order shake out? Now, keeping track of this race means you'll be subjecting yourself to some pretty bad football, but for those of us that like to keep an eye on the future, it's still entertaining in its own way. I mean, who could forget Davis Mills' 4th and 20 prayer last season that resulted in a touchdown, a win over the Colts, and the Texans losing out on the first overall pick, which in hindsight may have been a good thing because they ended up with CJ Stroud, but the point stands. These are the kinds of chaotic draft-related scenarios that you could see play out over the last few weeks. Will the Bears hold on to the first pick thanks to the Panthers, or will another team come and take the top spot? Where will the Patriots end up as they look for a new quarterback? And will they stay above the Cardinals, who could be looking for a quarterback of their own? Admittedly, I might be more interested in this race than most because I'm a Patriots fan, but cut me some slack. Can you really blame me for looking toward the future? I'm just excited to see something new. And bonus question, who's gonna win MVP? Will Tyreek Hill separate himself so he can't be ignored, even though he's not a quarterback? Will Brock Purdy go from Mr. Irrelevant to Mr. Most Relevant? Or will Dak, here we go, his way all the way to the MVP? The race is wide open. A lot of questions to be answered before we hit the playoffs, and I'm excited to see how it all plays out. And again, you can make sure you see how it plays out by getting NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube and YouTube TV. Watch your favorite teams out of market Sunday afternoon games as we race to the playoffs for as low as $39 for the rest of the season. Just check out the link in the description. Enjoy the rest of the season, and as always, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.